Welcome back to the running show. We're on the Run 247 stand and I am joined by a very, very exciting and remarkable woman. Her name is Cecilia Morrison and she's the current 1500 metre and 5000 metre world record holder.
That's correct.
Very exciting, Cecilia. And what's more interesting about you is that you actually didn't take up running until you were 61. So how did it all happen?
I had done 1 year's running when I was in my late 40s. Some friends of my son decided they'd do Portsmouth Half Marathon, and they somehow or other talked me into it, not quite sure how, but I was teaching aerobics at the time, so it didn't take me long to get into training, and I just ran and trained for 1 year and did the half marathon. All the guys that had said you must come and do this didn't turn up on the day, so I was there on my own. And then life got in its way and I didn't really do very much more until I was 61. But prior to that, I'd had a very bad skiing accident. It wasn't sort of breaking limbs as most people do when they have a skiing accident. I actually perforated my intestine, having wrapped myself around a metal post at speed. Anyway, I had abdominal surgery, helicopter rescue, all of that, and all the sort of life-threatening stuff was seen to, and I recovered from that really quickly. What I hadn't realised was, I was a tennis player at the time, what I hadn't realised was that I had actually probably damaged my left shoulder or my left knee, and I was actually swimming one day and hurt my left shoulder, and then I was running later in tennis and I hurt my left knee. So part of my rehab was walking on the treadmill, and I soon got a bit bored of that. And so I thought, well, let's put the pace up a bit, and I started to run. And I was having massages from my Pilates teacher, and she said, "Come on, let's enter a race together." So I thought, gosh, that's a bit tough. So anyway, I did enter this race. It was a 5-mile race. I'd never run that distance before. I had run outside, but not very often. It mostly had been done on the treadmill, and as I say, I'd never ran 5 miles. And towards the end of the race, I was getting extremely tired, and it was a very twisty, turny descent. It actually was slightly downhill to the finish, and every marshal in each corner kept telling me, "You'll soon be there." I hate people that do that. Anyway, I eventually did finish, and I was hooked. And I've been running ever since then.
And I'll have to mention that your world records are for the over 70s, which looking at you is kind of quite hard to believe. You're obviously a fantastic advertisement for starting sport later on in life, but tell us a little bit about your 5,000 metre record, because you didn't just sort of break that by a few seconds, you actually smashed it by 45 seconds. So just tell us a little bit about that race and how it happened.
Okay, I did smash it by 45 seconds, but I did that in two goes. But first of all, I went into my 70th year knowing that this was possible, that I could break this record, because I had a very good year the year before, and I thought, if I can maintain these times, then I should be able to just about break the world record. But knowing it and doing it are two different things. So first of all, you have to stay uninjured and you have to stay healthy. Otherwise you stand no chance. And also it's a known fact that as you get older you get slower. So I thought, well, I've got all these sort of things to battle against. But I set about doing the training, and I guess I must have got it right somewhere along the line. It was very hard, the training. So I do quite a lot of interval trainings in the spring season. And my opportunity for breaking this record came at the British Masters Track and Field Championships, which were held in Cardiff. Normally they're held in Birmingham, so it was a new track, new venue, which makes it all a bit more uncomfortable, really. I get very nervous before these events. The day arrives, I'd done the 1500, breaking the 1500 record on the Saturday, so I was quite tired the next day, and I'd broken that by 11 seconds. So I was quite tired by the next day, and it was also windy. So I thought, well, it could all go wrong here, because A, I'm tired, I've run a hard race the day before, and B, it's windy. But you just have to put all those thoughts out to the back of your mind and just get on with it. So The minute you arrive at the track, you start to feel a little bit better. And when you get in the call room, you feel even better still. They lead you out onto the track, and hey, you know, this is your stage. And I just did it.
What was the magical time?
The magical time then, help. Actually can't remember what it was then.
You can't forget your time, the world record.
Because I broke it again 10 days later, and I can remember that time.
Okay, what was that time?
That time was 22 minutes and 6 seconds.
Wow, that's fantastic, because that's a timer that a lot of people half your age would be very happy with, very, very happy with. So, it really is an outstanding time. It's obviously, as you said earlier, the kind of injury prevention and keeping healthy is really important. And I know you're here today with one of your sponsors, Neovite, which is kind of quite different sort of product, a little bit, off the wall, and quite different to the sort of the Gatorades and stuff like that. And it's all part of something to do with cow's milk, isn't it? So perhaps I'd like to explain a little bit more about what Neovite actually do.
Okay. Neovite is the colostrum, which is taken from nursing cows, and I think they spray dry it and put it into packets. But the colostrum, as any nursing mother will know, anybody who's had any children and breastfed will know that the first milk that you produce is not coloured like milk. It is sort of slightly watery looking and has quite a sweet taste, and it contains all the nutrients that are needed to help your baby have the best immune system to start life. So by taking Neovite, which is a colostrum, then you're enhancing your immune system. And I found that I started taking Neovite about just over 4 years ago, and I actually can't remember having a cough, cold, infection during the whole of that time. I may wake up one day and think, I feel like I could be starting a cold here. Yeah, but by the next day, that feeling's completely gone. So I've obviously get the virus, but have a way of fighting it. I have no proof that it's Neovite, but something worked very well. It certainly kept me very healthy for the 4 years that I trained extremely hard for what I achieved this year.
So it's a product that you take on a regular basis?
Product I take most days, yes. I take it in the morning. I take it with yogurt. It does have a flavour, but it isn't very strong. And certainly if I mix a banana in with my yogurt, which is normally how I take it, or I make it with a smoothie, sort of whiz it up and take it, it's lovely.
So it's, from an athlete's point of view, that we're always kind of trying to fend off any colds or bugs, because, they always kind of mean time out of training. So obviously it's a product that is of phenomenal use to athletes in general, and obviously yourself.
Yeah, so certainly. And it also has a healing effect on the digestive system. I do actually suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, and I'm sure that it does help with the symptoms of that. I wouldn't be without it. So.
And how long are we going to see you running for? Because at the age of 71, people saying, "Come on, you can't go on much longer." But I think you certainly can. You certainly look like you can. But what's the answer to that?
Well, I'm certainly not stopping running. I mean, I really enjoy my running. I do want to take some of the pressure off myself, because I did find that quite hard last year, both mentally and physically. And when you are 70, you do take longer to recover, that's for sure. So what I first of all, when my season finished, I thought, well, that's it. And I actually took quite a bit of time out and just did work in the gym, went swimming and played with toys that I hadn't played with for a long time. And the running took a real back seat. And I've just started back again. I've been running again properly for about 4 weeks and just getting into training again. And I thought of the unfinished business of last year, which was the 3,000 metre world record, which I would have easily got because I'd more or less gone through that time when I was doing a 5,000. I think that I'm not prepared to put in the time to get the world record, but hey, I shall go for the British record. And so that's going to keep me motivated for the next season, providing I can stay fit and healthy and uninjured. But I'm going to do it a different way, I think. And I will be running, but I won't be running. I'm going to try more cross-training and try a different approach so that, it's something different for my body to challenge it. So I've been doing running in the pool, in shallow water pool. When I say shallow water, it means my feet will touch the bottom, but the water probably comes up to chest level. Doing more sort of plyometrics in the pool. And although it doesn't raise your heart rate, it's actually quite demanding on the core stability. And so, I think that might make me stronger.
Well, we do wish you the very best of luck, and we will be looking out for that 3,000 metre national, possibly world record in the next year or so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.